All right, here from our Tom Fred Tire Studios in Waltham, we being me and Big Jim. How you doing, Jim?
Very good. Hello.
We got Mazz on location. He's a little under the weather, so to protect the greater good in the group, he is broadcasting from home. Mazz, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. I'm a team guy. What can I tell you?
So I thought we would start Red Sox, Anthony, and that was Alex Cora yesterday after that defeat to the Brewers, their fifth straight sweep at the hands of the Brewers. Last two in walk-off fashion in extra innings, and it was a pretty much an about-face from the things he was saying the day before. The day before, I don't know if you remember, the day before, he said, we're playing good baseball games. Are we playing poorly? Who am I to say? That's for others to say. It's my job to keep it positive. He struck a totally different tone. Where after yesterday's game, he called out Kristian Campbell for his bad play in the 10th inning. He called out the way they played across the board, from their base running to their fielding and their situational hitting. He said the Brewers were better fundamentally than we were. He said we have to be better from top to bottom, starting with the manager on down. It was like a different tone after that one, Mazz. Why do you think that was, and where do you think we stand on the Red Sox today?
I mean, maybe they had some sort of internal discussion or exchange where somebody said, hey, look, we just played the Milwaukee Brewers, who we're better than, and we have more talent than, whether we have young guys and injuries or not. And so the fact is the Brewers won that series, swept the series, didn't just win it. They swept it. And the reason the Brewers swept that series is because I think I said this to either Murray or Jimmy Stewart at one point yesterday off the air. So forgive me if I said it on the air. I don't remember. But they did what? They played defense. They ran the bases well. They put the bat on the ball. Like, they did all the fundamental stuff. That's it. Just the fundamental stuff. And I would submit, if you play just fundamentally sound baseball in the American League in 2025, because the league stinks, and we all know it, that'll get you 85 wins by itself. That'll put you in the playoff race just doing the basic things, not screwing games up. And they haven't been able to do that. So I do wonder whether or not there was some sort of exchange like, hey, let's not, we're losing hold of the rope. This thing is now spiraling out of control. We need to grab the rope again and make sure that we're staying on the beam, because this thing shouldn't be over. It feels like it is, but it shouldn't be.
Again, I feel it was a different tone. I don't know if that was intentional or not. I don't know what that means.
I mean, doesn't your gut tell you that he probably had a talking to, though? Like,
perhaps.
He's been carrying himself. Cora's been carrying himself like he's impervious to not criticism, but, really taking any arrows from the front office, because he just got this massive contract extension last summer. So maybe, Breslow or someone above him went to him and said, look, it doesn't matter what we're paying you. Your ass is on the line here. Fix this. Or change your tone and attitude.
So I wonder, they have an off day here now. They're it's in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
So they're in Atlanta waiting for tomorrow. On the radio broadcast, they were sort of implying that there's a mood around the team or something. I can't remember exactly how it was said, but feel like changes could be coming, or this off day could be newsworthy or noteworthy in some way, shape, or form. And that, again, that would mean changes on the team. What do you think could be coming there? I mean, we all have it in our mind, Mazz, that Roman Anthony comes up from the minors. Do you think that's what could be they're alluding to, or it could be something else, or anywhere in between?
So I would say probably any or all the above. I think there's a chance you're going to see multiple moves. I think, for example, Trevor Story could be sent to the bench, or maybe there's some sort of bigger personnel decision and they release him. Now, I'd be a little surprised if they did that with Story, if they released him at this stage, because look, they do, they need some bodies, even if just to go in and play defense in late innings and things like that. So Anthony would be the big one. There are always pitching moves, so I don't know if those even qualify. But yeah, I would say Anthony and Trevor Story feel to me like the biggest ones.
What about firing a hitting coach? What about firing a pitching coach?
Sure.
Something along those lines. I don't think firing a manager is on the table, but something like that.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. And again, because I think this team has failed in all areas, Mike. So the pitching was supposed to be better. It isn't. The offense was supposed to be more consistent. It's not. And you can talk all you want about Casas was giving them nothing out of the gate. Okay, so Bregman is a loss. Casas was not a loss. He didn't give them anything from the start. And their situational hitting is atrocious. It's atrocious. And I don't like the way they pitch either. Teams are attacking the Red Sox with fastballs, and meanwhile, the Red Sox continue to spin the ball up there, and Garrett Crochet gives up key hits to people in the number 9 spot in the batting order. So I don't like their philosophy or their approach at all. To me, I said this a while back, and obviously now it's even gotten worse. Sooner or later, someone's head has to roll, whether it's a player or a coach. Somebody's head has to roll because this team is grossly underachieving.
All right, folks, what do you think? What can they do? What should they do today, right now? 617-779-0985. Here's another itch we have to scratch. As we're now past Memorial Day, we are certainly more than 40 games into the season. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. It's feeling like another lost season. And when we say we collectively on this show, cannot help but go back and think about the things that the team was saying and, frankly, the victory laps they were taking before the season even began. And what a-holes they look like now, as usual. How, as usual, they got ahead of themselves. They thought they had all the answers. They promoted the fact that they had all the answers. And we're not in June, and it's just about blown up in their face. Like, for example, Mazz, where would you start with that?
Kristian Campbell, 100%. Kristian Campbell. And I go back to, I had Jimmy look this up last night, April 7th, when they announced the Kristian Campbell contract. April 7th, basically a week to 10 days into the kid's career when they signed him to this massive contract. And the comments that Craig Breslow made during that press conference had basically labeled Kristian Campbell as the face of the organization and the face of what they were trying to do and how they really were at a stage where they could already celebrate it. So I don't know if you want me to call for the cut or if you want to call for the cut. We're not in the same place, so you tell me.
Go, Jimmy.
Here we are today, sharing what I would call a massively significant moment for this organization, because Kristian was not drafted in the first round. He wasn't a top prospect upon entering the organization. What he was a good player who made himself a great player because of his work ethic and diligence and open-mindedness and attitude. And so in many ways, he is a prime example of what's possible when great scouting meets great development around a player who prioritizes maximizing his potential over everything else.
Okay, giving themselves side-by-side credit, not just the talent of the player, but the development and the diligence and the work ethic in following the program. And before, basically, they were 2 weeks into the season, separating their shoulders, patting themselves on the back for developing Kristian Campbell. And
I mean, they look like idiots.
And where are we? And where are we
Yeah.
today as he throws another ball into the crapper to lose him a game?
Yeah, we're at a stage where he's hitting 225 or even a little bit less now for the season. 225 it is. His OPS is 669. He's completely nosedived. He's in a stretch where he's 9 for 79 with 25 strikeouts. So during that stretch alone, he's hitting 114. And again, and your point is, which is the key play of the game yesterday, or one of them, was Campbell throwing that ball away in extra innings. So, and here's the other thing, Mike. If you're going to pat yourself on the back about the player development part of it, Kristian Campbell came up. I broke camp as the second baseman. In fact, he won the job before they even got to camp because he didn't have a great spring. Yeah, so they gave him the job because they were so intent on proving to everybody that he was ready and he was good. He came out, he swung the bat well early. The defense has been bad all year, frankly. They moved him to center field, or have used him in center field, and now they're moving him to first base. Does that sound like a good development plan? Now, look, I just think they're all over the map. This particular case, to me, exemplifies what is wrong over there. They are more intent on drafting a kid in the fourth round, turning him into a good player, or helping him turn into a good player, and celebrating that than they are in getting the best players and winning games. Does that make sense?
No, they're most interested in giving themselves credit for developing a kid.
Bingo. Exactly. That's what they're interested in.
As opposed to the talent of the individual. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. So in that press conference, well, this is what happens when player development meets traditional scouting and open. No. This has happened a million times in baseball where a kid comes up from the fourth round and plays well for any assortment of reasons. Don't give yourself credit. Give the organization some credit. I mean, but when they come out and beat their chests like he is some sort of trailblazer for a new age of player development, and now he's hitting 2.25, and they're bouncing him all over the place because they can't find a place for him to play. They look like idiots.
They look like typical. They get ahead of themselves. They're the first in line to give themselves credit, like they have some sort of answer or some sort of newfound thing. And it bothers me when people just buy into it. But now don't you feel foolish buying in on it? Don't they look foolish?
Yes.
Before we get to even the year, again, the whole drive line thing and their new approach to hitting, that Jeff Passan story, before the season even began, headline on ESPN.com, how the Red Sox built MLB's best prospect trio. You know, just that headline alone, how the Red Sox built. It's not that the players are talented.
Yeah, right. No, we forged them.
No, the way we built them has made them the best prospect trio. The lead to that story, inside the batting cages at the Red Sox spring training complex, where the future of hitting is playing out in real time. The future of hitting. Where the future of hitting is playing out in real time, the best trio of position prospects in a generation blossomed. The future of hitting, thanks to the Red Sox and Driveline, and these hitting instructors that they hired 2 years ago, before the season even began, the future of hitting is playing out here in Boston. Now here we are, not even in June. They're closer to last place than first place. They're 4 games under 500, They are in the bottom third in the league in hitting with runners in scoring position. They are in the bottom third of the league in hitting with runners in scoring position with 2 outs. They are worst in the majors in 1-run losses, worst in the majors in walk-off losses, all because they can't hit situationally because their hitting approach sucks. Yet in March, they are stroking themselves over the newfound revolution that they've created in hitting. Immediately, they give themselves credit, and it's not even a third of the way through the season. It's already blown up in their face. And I can't help but go back to that and how ridiculous it was for them to be taking victory laps then and how much I don't believe in their approach to begin with. And this is why, Mazz, even if they fire a hitting coach today, do they still have those Driveline instructors? Because I think Driveline's driven them right into the ground, frankly. All those strikeouts, they have the most 10 strikeout games in baseball since the beginning of last year. They have the 3rd most strikeouts in baseball since the beginning of last year. And I blame entirely their approach. And that starts with Driveline and putting the ball in the air and all that stuff. It creates strikeouts, big swings and strikeouts and bad situational hitting. And it's all come back to bite them. Immediately, right out of the chute. They can't get a hit with men on base. They can't get a hit when they need it because they don't know how to shorten their swing and put their bat on the ball, which is what Jim Rice suggested in the spring, after which he immediately got shushed by a Driveline guy. So, I don't know, at this stage of the season, who looks right and who looks wrong. So we can't help but going back to that, as that's already blown up in their face. So they're ready to give up on that nonsense? I don't know. But I do wonder if something's coming today. What could it be?
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Red Sox analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.